I did.
Yeah, just
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, I think that not wanting to invade on everyone's time, that we can get our meeting started, and I know that we are already in action. So let's start with introductions. I'm Mary Anderson. I'm the chair of this agent committee on CB12, as well as co-chair of WICOA. And
sí, también.
hold on, there's Yosef. Good morning, Yosef.
Good morning.
I was just getting started with introductions, actually. How are you?
Okay, good to see you. Sorry, I just
Yeah,
rushed
you-
from
you
meeting to
too.
meeting.
Okay, so might as well do introductions, yeah? So
Sure.
again, I'm Mary Anderson, I'm chair of this committee, although I am not fully present at the moment. I'm in rehab because I had some surgery. But I'm recovering and coming along. So it's good to see all of you. And I'm going to leave it up to Joseph to, continue to run this meeting, although I do have something to say at the beginning. But let's go with introductions. Joseph, do you want to start and then we can
Sure,
go
sure.
around?
Yeah, I usually have to change my name. You guys have to use my first name here. My name is Yosef Kalinsky. I am the assistant chair and happy to be chairing today's meeting. My day job is at Yeshiva University, and nice to see so many familiar faces. Who wants to go? Who else on the committee should go next?
I'm
Go
James Bosley and member of this committee, also a member of the Traffic and Transportation Committee of the Community Board. And I think I'm in my second year of being on the committee and on the board. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you.
Maria?
Hi, good morning, everybody. It's really very painful for me to give you some news. I did not reapply to the community board. I've been on the member of community board 12 for 43 years. I'm also serve on the youth services committee. I've been the chair, secretary, vice chair. I have chair some of the committees such as housing use, land use, and so on and so on. Now, due to my commitments to my community and to my family, I decided that I need to start slowing down in some of the commitments that I made. And I'm going to be also taking leave of some of the other responsibility that I have, some of the organizations in the communities. I'm trying to dedicate my time more to the seniors committee issues in my community. And I'm going to just, start taking a little more time also for my family. And just to give you a little history. I know that we don't have time, but a very close relative of mine.
Anyway, we have plenty of time right now.
Yeah, no, but I just, because this is I take this committee as one of my priorities on the community board. I put this committee together. I built this committee and also the youth services committee because I think it's important, the youth and the the seniors committee, community. But as you know, I'm also a senior, a very senior. So, but my family, I was confronted with a situation, and because I have a commitment to one of my committees here, my organization, I couldn't deal with a family problem, and I really need to take, hold of my priority, and I urge everybody to do the same. I will continue to be a public member of the community board. Also, I will stay on the aging committee, the advisory board for the mayor, just to as I said, to get in touch and be in touch with the seniors' needs for not only here but all over. So I'm a little sad because taking leave from some of the other things that I need to do is going to be very hard for me. So I enjoy meeting all of you and so many other people along those years. I hope that I was productive, that I did a good things for my community. I put my community, ahead of all my needs, to tell you the truth. So it was very hard for me to tell the board of president that I was not reapplying, and he just couldn't understand. And I said, well, I have to do it. I have to do, and I'll just go along with whatever is happening in Washington Heights and Inwood. I love all of you. I love my community. New York is like so dear to me as an immigrant. It has given us, my family, so many opportunities. So we try to give back as much as we could. So I'll stay, with all of you. I'll be around until you push me out of the way. But anyway, I'm still here. But not as an official member of the, of this particular committee. So thank you so much.
And I certainly hope that, and I know we all do, hope that you'll stop in and visit at the meetings on occasion.
Well, I will
Drop in and give us an update of what's going on in your life.
I will have to be, because one of the responsibilities of being in the advisory board for the aging in the city, appointed by the mayor, I have to, not only serve here, but also in other community, community boards. So, I'm gonna be around. I'm gonna be around with all of you.
Great.
Okay, anybody want to follow that? Anyone who follows next has to be on the board for at least 43 years.
I will do a simpler version of that. My name is Richard Allman. I'm honored to be in the same space with Maria Luna. And we go from there.
Okay, anyone else, board members here?
Dory and Carol, public members.
Okay,
Good morning, everyone. Dory Garcia, Executive Director, ARC 16 for Washington, Inc. I have the honor to work with Maria as one of my board members and to work with Richard as well. I'm also the treasurer for WAICOA, so thank you everyone for having me here and a public member of this committee.
okay.
Carol? Yeah, sorry.
Carol Weeks. I'm a public member and I don't have anything fancy after my name like Maria Luna, but I run the Dyckman Senior Center. I'm the program director. I am a visitor in WAICOA and I hop around as best I can to everything that's done in our community.
Okay, anyone else want to jump in next? Go ahead. Just chime in. Let's keep moving.
Okay, so I'll just quickly say that my name's Lisa Beth Miller. I'm the Outreach and Referral Coordinator at Lighthouse Guild. I really love being at these meetings. I always learn so much. And I am available to providers to speak and also direct contact to speak to people that are in need of services. I gather up a whole bunch of resources so that when people speak to me that have low vision or blindness, I connect them to something that lifts their spirits. That's my mission, my own personal mission. And also we have an adult day healthcare program that is challenged to get people to be able to release some of the hours of their home health aides right now. So we're still looking to keep building up our clientele for that, because we have a wonderful director who is very loving and compassionate. And it's a wonderful opportunity for people with any kind of chronic medical condition to be together with others. So I invite you all to ask me about it if it's something that you know somebody would benefit from. Thanks.
I'm Miriam Rabner. I'm a cultural sensitivity liaison and outreach coordinator for MJHS Hospice and Palliative Care. And I'm also on the executive board of WICOA.
Hi, I'm Diane Ashley, Chief Marketing and Communications Officer for MJHS Health System and Isabella, and here representing both. Pleasure to be here.
Hi, I'm Rosie Bernard, MJHS Hospice and Palliative Care. I'm a cultural sensitivity liaison. I'm happy to be here as well. And it's been a great pleasure to meet you, Maria.
Ashton Stewart, veteran liaison with MJHS. May as well keep the crew together. Nice to see my colleagues and nice to see everybody, and wishing you the best, Maria. You've done some amazing things for the community.
Yeah.
And there's Radia, is that how you pronounce your name? Barnes?
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Radia Barnes. Yes, you did great with my name. Thank you. I'm brand new, newly appointed to CB12, so I'm just jumping around from different meetings and getting a feel for everything.
I want to say welcome to you. Welcome to the board. And hopefully you'll consider being a member of the aging committee. We need some more members.
Yes.
All right. And then we have our presenters to introduce as well. Joseph, I don't know if you want to.
Julie,
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with you continuing if you're able to. Yeah, you seem fine. You feel comfortable introducing? Or do you want me to?
I actually just well, I can do that actually. We have Joshua Krasner and Nancy Houghton, I believe her name is pronounced, and there's sort of a not an error, but a kind of left some pieces out in terms of on the agenda. Their presentation is actually a home for a lifetime, living better by design, and I wanted to clarify that. With my being in rehab, I just didn't have time to really get that title together ahead of time, so I apologize for that. And Josh and Nancy, I guess you can take it over.
Why don't I go first, because Josh is really doing the main part of the program. I'm Nancy Houghton, the Director of Health Advocates for Older People. And we are an organization that was founded in 1985, serving seniors in the community since then. We focus on 4 main areas: exercise and wellness. We have 26 in-person and online classes every week. We focus on home safety and fall prevention, which Josh is going to tell you about. We have a very a good technology training program. We partner with high school students who train seniors at our office and in their homes to help them become more tech savvy. We have a Chrome initiative going on now where we're giving Chromebooks to seniors and helping them learn how to get online. We also focus quite a bit on socialization, engagement, and making friends, helping people think about building their social networks. So thank you for inviting us today. I think Josh has a lot of interesting things to share, so I'm going to pass it on to him. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Josh Krasner. I'm the Home Safety Fall Prevention Coordinator at Health Advocates for Older People. I've been at this position since August, and it's been a wonderful opportunity, really just helping those 60 and above live more gracefully and safer in their homes. And I've had the opportunity to work with University Settlement and visiting nurse services, partnering with them and helping their communities as well as our own, and looking to expand and spread the knowledge that I've gained, and hopefully to the West Side as well. So I think I have access to, it says host disabled participants screen sharing. So if someone could give me access to share my screen, that would be great.
Who needs the screen share? Who is the person who needs the screen share?
It says host disabled participants.
Josh Krasner needs it.
Yes, okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, I tried to resolve a few issues that we have with the accounts. And that's why you don't see me. I am with Jonathan online.
Okay.
I'm halfway hearing you guys, okay?
Thank you for your help.
You got it now? You got it, huh?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So yes, I am here today to explore your options in making sure you or your loved one's home is as safe and injury-free as possible. Since beginning this position and making home visits throughout New York City, the most prevailing theme among my clients has been resistance to change. We all have resistance to change, but we don't have to let it evolve to the point of crisis. Reinventing spaces in your home might be key to living easier and more efficiently. Most homes are designed for able-bodied people and are not age-friendly at first. But there are plenty of solutions to maintain a high quality of life and functioning living space, no matter how old you are. Whether you're living in the city, country, or the suburbs, how we get into our homes makes a world of difference. We need to make our environments as usable as possible. Some alternatives to steps, making a permanent ramp or having a folding one, or installing an outdoor chair glider, which is a bit of high maintenance, but if you have time for the upkeep, more power to you. I did a little research and found that the average person spends about 2 years during their lifetime in the bathroom. It gives us a whole lot of time for accidents to occur, so let's make sure it's a safe place to be in. If you're having actual problems getting into your bathroom, wider is better when you're talking about doors. Most professionals agree that your door should be at least 6 inches wider than your walker or wheelchair. Methods of achieving this in existing bathrooms can range from the inexpensive swing clear hinges from accessible environments, which can add inches of space, to the more expensive reframing and replacing your door. One increasingly popular solution is the pocket door, which slides into the wall frame. This creates a great deal of space and convenience. Most guides to barrier-free design is that the free floor space should be at least 5 by 5 feet. Deleting a cabinet vanity and replacing it with a pedestal sink can help you get closer to that ideal. On the left is a client I visited who would grab onto her sink in order to lift herself up from the toilet. If you find yourself doing this as well, please stop now. It is extremely dangerous. A lot of us don't know our own strength and there actually have been cases where the pressure has ripped the sink off the wall. A great alternative is the toilet safety frame, which a lot of my clients have had installed. If you don't want a toilet safety frame, we recommend grab bar installations, anywhere from 18 to 24 inches. Anytime you're sitting in need of a grab bar, we suggest it being installed diagonally. It is much safer for your back. On the right, the client was grabbing onto her towel rack to lift herself up. They are not designed for that weight. So if you find yourself doing that as well, stop and get yourself a legitimate grab bar. There are indeed, though, grab bars designed these days that are multi-purposeful, used as toilet paper holders and or towel racks. All right, so let's take a look at the bathtub. There are a few ways to keep a bathtub without climbing into it. You can purchase and install a cool-looking transferring seat, or you can get a tub cut, which costs around $1,500 if you can afford that. Once we get into the tub, in which direction do we install the grab bars? It comes down to a personal preference, but here at Health Advocates, we suggest once installed vertically as you enter, and the interior one placed horizontally. You also want to make sure that they're close enough to each other to make getting in and out of the tub a smooth transfer. It is ideal to be able to hold on to both grab bars simultaneously. If you're not able to stand while showering, a lot of older adults use shower chairs. Again, if you're getting up from a chair, we suggest installing the grab bar diagonally inside the tub. As for the floors in your shower, we suggest smaller tiles. More grout equals less chance of slippage. A non-slip rug for the floor and a non-slip bath mat for the tub or shower. The mat can get a bit grimy, but worth the extra effort to clean because of its sturdiness. If you're making major modifications to your home to support your overall safety, sometimes this can take anywhere up to 3 to 5 days to complete. Will you have alternative means if temporarily displaced? Again, this is part of why we suggest making these changes now rather than later. It is never too early to be safe. So I've met a lot of clients who, while trying to get from one room to the next, stretch out their arms and press their hands against the walls trying to get through their hallways. Instead of a grab bar, we suggest installing a wooden rail. This is one we recommended for a client that was 8 feet long. Also in the hallway or entrance to a room, levels greater than 1/2 inch can create tripping hazards and barriers for people who use wheelchairs. To remove the threshold, you can either cut or pry up and patch the flooring. In some cases, you may be able to install a beveled ramp that smooths out the threshold. Alternatively, you can fill the area with mortar or plastic material. Walking through your apartment or house, another impediment are the carpets and rugs. They are extremely easy to trip over. If you can't have them completely removed, please make sure that there's either non-slip padding or double-sided tape attached. So here one of our clients gets out of bed and steps onto the wooden floor. They would then abruptly walk onto the rug. This is also a safety hazard. We recommend to the client to pull the rug completely inward, allowing them to only walk on one surface. And for those in need of extra support, getting in and out of the bed, we suggest installing a bed assist handle. Please all make sure that your feet can touch the ground while sitting on the bed. This surprisingly enough prevents one of the most common types of falls among the older adult population. If the bed is too high, you can reduce the height with a smaller box spring and a frame that is closer to the ground. As for the mattress itself, we recommend a surface that is firm to extra firm for support. One of the most common struggles among older adults is the ability to get up from a chair. Most old furniture measures at 14 to 15 inches from the floor to the seat. If you're over 5'4", we recommend at least 18 inches. Arm support is a must, and if you recline too deep into a chair, simply add a cushion for support. Lift-up chairs. This should be used as a last resort. The muscles aren't utilized and does not bring you to a full standing. Some older adults remain stooped and positioned subsequently. If using a lift-up chair, make sure a caregiver is nearby to give you the walker and help you straighten out. All right, so what is wrong with this picture? It's rugs. We have a cane, floor, loose papers. Only the legs of the chair are on the rug, so that's uneven surfaces. And there's a subtle hazard between the rug and the bed. There's a little wire, so it's really, you have to watch out for everything. Your safety in your bedroom. That's ideally how it should look. So besides physical impediments, there are also cognitive and visual concerns that may need to be addressed. As we all know, memory loss is a huge issue. If you can't store the information internally, you can store it externally with signage. People respond well to letters and color. More than 3 million Americans aged 40 and older are estimated to experience blindness, low vision, and gauge-related eye disease. How can we modify the home for those whose visions have deteriorated? Contrast is a key component. Get their attention with strong, bold color contrast. Not only does this help people with low vision, but it may also add beauty and vitality to a space. Finding tools with large font isn't as hard to find anymore. A lot of major outlet stores have, on their websites needs the ever-increasing older adult population. We have a product catalog actually on the HAFOP website listed under resources that is up to date with a plethora of tools that might be helpful for you. Stores we have referenced are Target, Amazon, Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond actually went out of business, so we do need to edit that. And Home Depot, which actually has its own department tailor-made for older adults called Independent Living. Even grab bars might be difficult to locate for some people with visual impairment. There are covers available in different colors as well as ones with non-slip material. Make sure your rooms feel well lit, not just one lamp. Good lighting should decrease shadows, reflections, and glare, meaning older adults shouldn't have to adjust their eyes or feel discomfort when moving from one room to the next. There are plenty of different kinds of lights to choose from. Door shares are wonderful lighting up the entire room. LEDs, today's most energy efficient, rapidly developing lighting technology. Night lights are almost essential when natural light isn't coming in from the window. I actually, my father's 78 and we just got him 4 night lights yesterday for his transfer from his bedroom to the bathroom. So sometimes older adults don't remember to turn on the lights or feel they don't need them. Removing the need to turn on the lights with motion sensing is a great way to make sure rooms, stairs, and hallways are always bright enough. These lights are wireless, so you won't have to be restricted to places with a nearby outlet. Some are battery operated and others rechargeable.
Those are cool. What are that called? The ones on the toilet. It's just.
They're just like just night lights. I can find out more about that.
If you went on Amazon, what would that say? Night light toilet? Like, what would you look?
I can get your email and then I can.
Or you can just put it in the thing there. Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm curious too.
That concludes my presentation of Aging
Lisa's buying too.
Place. Please remember, you are never too young to be safe. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry.
Could you please repeat your email address? It's Josh.
Yeah, or put up that last.
Up there.
Yeah, put up
I'll
that
put
last
that
slide
in the
again.
chat too.
But either way, yeah. Exactly.
It's HAFOP
Is it Josh or Joshua in the email?
Oh, yes, my email
You
is.
put that in there too, please.
I'll
Thank
put
you.
that in there too. josh.krasner@hayfop.org. Please email me with any questions. If you'd like a home visit for you or your loved one, we recommend going on our website and registering as a participant. All of our services are free. You just need to fill out a form and we can go from there. Glad to help
Do you
anyone.
have people who speak languages other than English when they go for home consult?
Right now, the only clients that we've served with the foreign language is Cantonese, and that has been in Chinatown, and I've been fortunate enough to have a translator with me. Other than that, that hasn't been an experience that I've had. Yes, Mr. Allman.
Sure. I'm hearing the presentation is greatly appreciated, and yeah, we're looking forward to you presenting at the Senior Center on the 14th. The question I have is for things that have costs, are there subsidies for lower income people?
Yes.
And are there ways of working with tenants who are not going to be able to, who may not be able to convince their landlord that where it's infrastructure?
So far, we've been able to work with Senior Repair, and in order to be eligible for their free equipment and installation, I think an individual needs to have an income of $25,000 or less, and if you're a couple, the total is $35,000. So far, that's the service that we've used.
And that's total income. That isn't in any way impacted by people's age, i.e. the retirement income is looked at differently from earned income.
Yeah, no, that's the total income.
I see other hands, but I have a second question later.
Miss Anderson.
You answered the question, actually. Well, actually, I guess, got more information with the answer to Richard too about cost and things like that, because, a senior citizen on a fixed income, that's not eligible for, any assistance of any kind.
Right.
The cost sounds unaffordable, really. I heard you say something about $35,000. I mean, no way. I mean, my apartment is hazardous, I have to say, to my well-being. But, things like, the bars just don't stay on the walls because there's such issues. And as far as, getting around in the apartment, there are issues because of the way things are situated. I mean, I wondered if, what happens if, can you come in and do an evaluation and see what the possibilities are? I mean, I even had folks come in and try to get the landlord to possibly install a ramp coming into the building, because there are 3 steps going up into the main lobby. And the lobby is built in such a way, the doors in the center, and the steps are not wide enough. I have a rollator and other mobility issues, but so it's impossible. There's no room to put a ramp in that outside foyer unless they rebuild the whole thing, and the landlord is not hardly going to do that.
Yeah, no, this has been, we were just talking with the client yesterday who has these issues, and just trying to explore further resources for people who have issues with the landlord, and maybe even trying to put them in touch with with a lawyer who could explain to the landlord about disability rights. I mean, senior rights, because, you know, having grab bars, that is a right that you have if you're a tenant in New York. So, and there's really no way that a landlord can dispute that. So
is there a fee for having you come in and do an evaluation?
no, there's
What
no
needs to
fee
get
for
done?
that.
Okay,
Me to make the assessment and to give you
Uh-huh.
tailor-made recommendations.
okay. I'll be in touch.
Please.
Any
Any
other
other
questions?
questions?
Hi, I'm Dora Garcia, Executive Director, ARC. I don't have a question. I just want to invite you, Josh, and Nancy to the WICOA conference, June 15 in the Yeshiva University. If you can just add your email to the chat, I added mine so I can send you all the information you might need. You can also table there is going to be a big opportunity to actually explain this to the senior and actually spread more the word, because it's going to be a big event.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, I did put my email in the chat. So please
Yes,
feel free
I
to
got
reach
it. Thank
out. Thank you so much. Miss Maria Luna, you have a question?
I think that this presentation was really needed for all of us, because we are, you know, if you take a look at my screen, I am sitting on my dining room, which is, is filled with boxes, and you have no idea how much stuff most of us accumulate along the years. One of the social workers that came to visit my mom when she was alive, she went through our entire apartment and she took a pad and said, you have to get this thing out of, the way. And she just gave us a list, and all this, situation that made some of the seniors, have accidents. It is important to make them aware, because, we accumulate things. It's not just the landlord. But I was thinking, maybe, Mary, that we should plan as an aging committee to go after all the landlords that are building within our community. There's a whole bunch of buildings that are coming up, and they have to know that they have to have accessibility on the bathroom, at least to make the doors wider and things like that, to make sure that in a situation that people needs a wheelchair or walker and things like that, the doors are wider than regular apartment. I don't know how we'll do that, but I think that we need to make them, put that pressure on them to make sure that they, anything that is being built from now on is not just ADA compliant, because that means that they have a ramp, to enter the building and things like that, but also to make sure that the apartments are livable by people who have some type of impediment. So I think that this is a great presentation. I know it's some of the things are a little expensive for most of us, but anyways, thank you so much for bringing to light the thing that we have. I'm gonna go over my apartment right now also a little later and start moving things around and throwing things out of the way. So thank you so much, Jess.
Good luck. Any other questions? Charles?
Okay.
Richard, did you want to ask a question?
I do. At a couple of other meetings, working on senior issues, actually at one of our sisters' community boards, a project generally described as advocacy for walk-in tubs has been out there. There seem to be a couple of people in particular promoting that. And I'm just wondering, the real question is, do these two things link? And if so, how? And if so, further, is there a way we could help facilitate the connection, if that's what's appropriate?
I'm kind of not sure what you're asking. I'm sorry.
Let me try it again. I recently attended a meeting of Manhattan Community Board 10's Senior Task Force. That's the community board for Central Harlem. There was a presenter there, I believe, with design and engineering history, who has been trying to raise the issue of walk-in tubs as a safety issue for seniors, or something else that facilitated, in parallel ways to what I hear you talking about, safe entry and safe use of the bathroom. It appeared to be an individual, but there was a lot of really positive response to that as an issue to be addressed. And I'm just listening to you, listening to them, and just trying to figure out if there's an appropriate connection or any of a number of things that might be done there. Again, I was struck by that presentation, but I don't know the people there organizationally or, what they might have as an organizational agenda.
There needs to be more knowledge gained around that. So I definitely do more research and get back to you on that.
Do that. I will also take a next step with that other contact, or at least
that'd be great.
To see how open they are.
Yeah, if you could connect me, that'd be wonderful.
Glad to do that.
Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Anything else before we move on? That was a wonderful presentation. I agree. If any of these senior centers want to get their hands on that and share that, I guess, with their constituents, I'll leave that to be in touch with Josh on that.
Yeah, I'm always open to presenting wherever I can. So please reach out so we can spread the message of living safer.
Quickie question.
I want to have a quick question. Who funds your program?
It's a private nonprofit, so several resources. I don't know, Nancy, maybe if you want to. You have to unmute yourself, Nancy.
Well, we're very fortunate that we get some funding from the city council and the assembly. We are also fortunate that we have a lot of individuals who donate to Health Advocates, and we have 2 fundraisers every year, and that is how we support the free programs. And we're very dedicated to continue offering free programs. One thing I want to just mention is we have a fabulous equipment program, and we give people call and no longer need walkers and wheelchairs, and we pick them up or they deliver them to the office, and then we give them to people who call and say they need them. We're having an equipment fair on June 21st at Church of the Holy Trinity on East 88th Street. And we're hoping to have a really strong attendance. We know people need the equipment, and we really are motivated to making sure people get what they need. And it's excellent equipment. So people call about that too. Feel free to call.
And what is the number to call?
Well, the number for the equipment is 212-831-1700. And that's at Holy Trinity Church where the equipment is stored. And then our regular number, you can always call us here, 212-980-1700.
Amazing.
Yeah, we give hundreds of things away every year, and lots of paper products, which people need, waterproof things, and they're expensive. And we really want to, get them passed out to people who need them.
And you would accept unopened packages of adult diapers too?
We absolutely do.
Thank you.
Hi, Richard. Yes.
2 questions. is there a flyer for possibly available for the June 21st?
Is there a what?
Is there potentially a flyer or something?
Yes, let me send it to you. How can I send it to all of you? Richard, let me
You
send it
can-
to you and maybe you can send it on.
You could send it to me, Nancy, and I can send it to all the attendees, everyone on the call.
Oh, that's Mary. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the best for the whole committee. I mean, we're going to connect in another way.
Okay, that's
And
great.
Josh, just checking. You're also doing in-person presentations as well as virtual presentation. Okay. Yeah, that's what I hope we're headed for.
Good. Well, we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
So should we just sign off?
it's up to you. You can, or you can stay for the rest of the meeting, which won't be too long, but we won't hold you
Thank
hostage.
you for having us.
I just
take care.
want to chime in and say thank you very much for your presentation. It was very thorough, very helpful. And like I said, I will personally be in touch to see what you can figure out that I might be able to do in my apartment with or without the landlord's
Excellent.
assistance.
You know,
Um,
actually, I remember a book that the city worked on with Rosemary Bacher that tells, I tried to find it a minute ago and I couldn't put my finger on it, but the landlords do have to agree to making adjustments as needed. And they, I believe, have to pay for it unless there's a real reason that they can show that it would be hardship. So let me find that for you, Mary, and I'll send it to you.
Okay, great, because my landlord won't agree to do anything,
No, they won't.
It took
And
me-
you have,
It took me forever to get some tiles replaced in my living room that I was tripping and falling over
yeah,
because some of the tiles had come up. I mean,
I
I
know.
told him, I said, if I ever get seriously injured, I'm gonna own this building. Not that I want to own the building, but I mean, come on, It
Okay,
was getting that bad. I mean, I was falling constantly.
Now keep after them.
Honey, listen, I mean, I've been in this building for 44 years. Okay. When I moved in, it was the owners now, it was their parents that owned the building and they were beautiful, beautiful people. And we got everything done and, you could paint the apartment, everything got done no matter what happened. Everything was hunky dory. And then as the parents died and the boys took over, oh, forget about it. And they own like a gazillion buildings in New York City and, Manhattan, all over Manhattan. And
Gosh,
they're the
maybe they
worst.
could.
They're the
maybe-
worst. They're on, in fact, one of the two boys is on the worst, the 10 worst landlord list.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's sad. It's
Sound
sad.
like lovely people.
Yeah. Charming.
okay, thank
Anyway.
you again. And obviously there'll be a lot of follow-up. So
Thank you.
I was gonna go to the next item, Mary, does that make sense?
Richard, well, Richard has a hand up. Let's.
Yes, no, Richard?
No, Richard?
No,
That was an old hand.
he's just
Okay.
playing with us.
Okay.
Uh, next item on the agenda. Again, thank you, Mary, for helping us put together the agendas, and the speakers have been really. It's probably worth saying that now as we end this part of the year. As I think everybody knows, the community board cycle is a September through June. We get a little bit of a break in the summer for some of us.
Pretty much.
July and August, just kudos to Mary through everything, having wonderful items each month for us to chew on, to think about, to advocate for, and to share with our community. And this is just another shining example of that. So thank you, Mary, for
Well, thanks to all of you for, helping me to come up with, ideas for presentations and
and now we're giving Now we're giving everyone 2 months to think about what are the things we want to hit on our agendas for the following calendar year. And you know how to reach myself, to reach Mary, the office, as we build those agendas together.
Yes.
So thank you very much for that. I have some items over here just to go through in terms of old business, new business. Then we'll open up to hearing from you and some of the upcoming things happening.
I just wanted to say a couple things under old business here.
Okay. So do you want, go ahead.
That budget time will be coming up. And we need to start thinking of our capital and expense budget items. Review those from last year and think about, what we want to add, subtract, or whatever, or change with the budget, because that'll be hot on the topic coming on in September. So then, because we'll have to get that together by the October meeting, I guess. So I just wanted to say that, and if people want me to, I can send out the budget to the board, to the members and the attendees if you want, of the budget requests that we had in for last year.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Send it out. Yes. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Did you have any other items on the old business, Mary, or that was?
That's the only thing I had for the time being. I mean, the info under new business.
Okay, and then the new business, I'm just reading off I'm reading off the agenda with you. Those of us know last month was our first successful month meeting in person after a long time. And I myself, unfortunately, wasn't able to be there in person. I was coming off of the end of the Yeshiva University graduation long day. But hopefully June I should hopefully be there, and we're rock and rolling back on the community board, and you're invited to join us at that. I'm trying to look at my calendar over here. That's probably going to be June. Anyone off the 20th? Is that right, or the 27th? 20th probably, right?
No, the 27th.
27th. Okay, thank you, Ebenezer. The 27th. You can come in person, or we will still have the hybrid option for those who want to see what excitement happens. This is just what goes on in one of our committees. Wait till you see what happens on in the general committee.
Yeah.
And
it's too bad I'm not home, because that meeting's going to be on Haven Avenue.
Okay.
The June meeting.
And then we get to see Mary's landlord. Huh? You could introduce us to your landlord if we're on the block.
Right, there you go.
But
I won't be home by then, so.
Okay, and then generally we haven't really met over the summer. We often don't have pressing needs for this committee.
I think just to take a vote and see, if anybody feels like, we should have one. Is there anybody in the committee that feels like we should have a meeting over the summer in July or August? Yes, no, maybe, no. I see a lot of shaking heads, no. So I'm assuming that we will then meet again in September, the first Thursday of September, unless it's one of those holidays. I don't know. I don't have a calendar in front of me.
September 7th, it looks like it should be.
Okay. Does anybody know about the Jewish holidays? Well, is there
Not
anything?
then. I do.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
not on the 7th.
Okay. All right.
Following week is Rosh Hashanah.
Okay. I actually have that at the bottom of the next meeting. Oh. Okay.
Okay, and
One of the attendees.
Go ahead.
Michelle Castaneda had put a message in the chat or the Q&A or somewhere. I was just wondering, Michelle, if she had any information, any questions or concerns or things she wanted to bring up. She was questioning how it works with, we have the presenter and then we discuss, the issues around that, but then when do people bring up other issues in the community? So I answered her question in the chat, but I wanted to know if she had anything pertinent to this meeting.
I don't know.
I don't know if we can get her,
I mean, I think we
because
know-
Ebenezer wasn't able to promote her. But I don't know how we get her to have the ability to speak.
Wow, look at that
She
magic.
can talk now. I
There
allowed
she
her
is.
to
Okay.
talk. I tried to promote it, but it was not possible.
Oh, I didn't see. I
Okay,
know. I didn't even
beautiful.
know Michelle was here. Michelle, do you hear us? Are you able to speak if you unmute? Do you have any questions?
Hello,
And also introduce yourself.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Michelle, and I'm actually live in Washington Heights area. I was born and raised there, and I had two grandparents that were in the neighborhood, and I just am looking to engage with the community and see what is needed and see how I could be of help. So I decided to join some of the committees, and this is the first one I joined. And I don't have any exact question or issue, but I just wanted to get a feel of how this works and to see how it will be helpful for me to join any future meetings.
Okay, wonderful. Hopefully you enjoyed the presentation and the conversation. We try to be friendly on this committee.
Yes, I did. Thank you so much. It was very informative. Especially I have uncles and aunts and my mother, they're getting older. So it's very helpful for any future and would have been helpful when my grandparents were around a few years ago, but this was very informative. Thank you so much.
Okay, great.
And the technology worked. Okay, that's great. Any Richard, is that a real hand now?
It goes back and forth. I was just listening to what Michelle Castaneda said, and it made me think about fall programs. Is there a way that it would be helpful for us to do presentations on the senior centers in the neighborhood and make that more available in the community in any of a number of different ways?
We would have to check in with the senior centers and see if they would be willing to host us. Also, I guess, we'd have to talk among ourselves and see if we'd be willing. I mean, we were going to the senior centers on a monthly basis, a different senior center each month for, a while before COVID. And that was working real well because we were able to get the seniors from the community that way. We don't seem to be able to get the seniors from the community to, come to our meetings, even on Zoom. We've tried it with the Star Senior Center for a while, but they have a conflict with their programming at the time that we have our meetings and that sort of thing. So, I mean, I would love to go back to the senior centers. Carol would probably do it.
ARC for Washington will welcome you with open arms.
Okay.
Joseph was there checking out our space.
Yes, it's really nice.
I know that you came, I say frequently, to the Dyckman Senior Center, and
Right.
that invitation is still open. We could have a hybrid. We could have you on the screen, and we could also have it in person. So I'm putting out the welcome mat.
Okay, so let me, meanwhile, maybe over the summer, I can be in touch with the chair of the board and see how that should work. I mean, don't know if it has to be hybrid. It might be. I don't know what the
It
deal
would be
is
good if we
with the committee meetings, so.
the committee meetings came and interacted with the members.
Yeah. And the other thing is, what? If we were to do that, we would be probably the first committee doing that in person rather than on Zoom, because
Well, we'll see what people decide over the summer. It could be
Yeah,
it might
exactly.
become what everyone starts doing.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Richard? Oh, you're muted. There you go. Oh,
Yes to all of that. a suggestion that we put on our September agenda, organizing in the
Perfect.
senior centers. And for the people who are going to the WICOA conference, I think besides having the great program that's been organized, it's a chance for a lot of informal discussions and talking to colleagues probably in ways that we don't talk to them right now. I think there are people on this call, Dory included, who know that conference better than I do, but it sure seems like an opportunity to talk to people about whatever our Upper Manhattan senior issues might be. And the one other suggestion I wanted to make, as we finished up the HAFOP presentation, we talked about how, I think it was Maria who said something about how can we get this work with tenants, with seniors more. That sounds like maybe a joint project for the aging and the housing committees, and that would be worth exploring over the summer, or whether there'd be something we could do together in the fall or even sooner.
Okay, great. I would just add, we did present a letter to the board president, as specifically our committee, we have felt has gained much from being virtual and being able to have broadening our audience. Because we said many of the executives here can't necessarily leave their office for travel time and going somewhere, and in the middle of this meeting, if they had to attend to something, be able to attend to something. So it's a tough balance. You know, when I'm wanting to be in the, maybe we alternate. Obviously, it would have to be hybrid, but even with the hybrid, no, maybe that would be a rich discussion for September to think about that, whether we want to spend a few minutes now. But that's always been the tension for this group a little bit, and we've seen great gains by our constituents coming together fairly regularly every month. The same, those of you that are on. I think being able to do it virtually has helped with that. So
yeah.
And I think we should try that. A senior services fair might be the one exception to that. If we could make it work in a particular way and do it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
While the weather's particularly good, senior services fair, organized tour of senior centers. A lot of possibilities there that might not be inconsistent with continuing to do virtual meetings.
All right, so to be followed up.
I just wanted to add something that Richard, you mentioned the WICOA conference. The WICOA conference is open to the community as well. So we want our community members to come and hear about the resources that are available and garner some new information and tips and inspiration for aging strong themselves. So it's a much more direct outreach to them than through us. So if you have seniors, we can help you with transportation, bringing them to the UC University, and we would love to see them and to also hear where the gaps are and what are the needs that we might address as a committee.
Maria?
Yes, I meant to ask, I just got into a situation with some neighbors that want to get the assessor right, get into the assessor system. I didn't know that was so complicated. I went to the the website and got this like pages and pages and pages of information. The application takes time. The people have to go and an interview with the doctor. The doctor have to recommend it. Can you tell me if that's true? I mean, it takes months to to get accepted into the assessor right system. I thought that would be a little simplified for the
Now, if you remember the presentation we had that, that talked about accessoride, I mean, she certainly talked about the issues with the administration and accessoride and, the problems that exist. So it's, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
Wow. it is really, complicated, it's not a complicated, but it's a timely,
Yeah,
I mean, applying for accessory, and you have to wait weeks and weeks and have to go to the doctor have to say, this person needs, someone that I know, 90 years old, have to explain that they have a need for, that type of service. It is
Well,
incredible that.
I had a friend a while back that needed to reapply for Accessoride. He hadn't used it in a bit, and he was, again, unable to walk very far at all, and elderly, and as I said, disabled. And they wanted him to go downtown, wherever
Right.
it is, to the office to
Right.
reapply. Now, if he could do that, he didn't need Accessoride.
Right, but they said
They weren't going to provide him with transportation to go down there and reapply.
I was told that
So-
they had to go for an interview, and then also to prove that they cannot afford to pay for a taxi service and things like that. I never heard something like that. That is, absurd. But anyway, maybe we could, try to figure out how to, make some changes in that type of system, because it's really needed, since we don't have, we know that the public transportation is limited for, for some people.
And you have to have it notarized too, which is another problem.
Correct. And then
What
you
you're
have to
saying
go
is
make
true.
an appointment with the doctor, and now doctors are not giving appointment to people like every 3 or 4 months that you can go for your regular, a doctor's visit. It's getting complicated for, for the people who really need more of those services.
Right.
And another thing that I want to take advantage of, I was looking at these streets, the sheds that are on the restaurants, that because of COVID, the restaurant could have, the restaurants outside and things like that are going to be permanent. And Mary knows as much as, as all of us about the space between the restaurant, the shed, the sidewalk, and it's getting more complicated. And now the city decided to have a lot of the avenues built into this beautiful boulevard type of thing that is limited to, to people who cannot walk like 4 or 5 blocks. I mean, it's beautiful. It really looks like a, European boulevard. But here for the city of New York, closing street and making all these complex, changes in transportation and accessibility, is creating more of a problem for people to, they'll decide to stay home as opposed to go out and enjoy certain things in that city. But especially about the accessory, right? I have no idea. I'm gonna have to take a look deeply more into that thing, because if people don't have to go to an appointment downtown, to an appointment to the doctor, and to have an interview, and to prove that you cannot pay, private, transportation. That is really incredible. So thank you so much. Yeah. But listen, I'll be around. I am not going any place. I'm not going to be a former member of the community, appointed member of the community board. It's just that I decided that I need to take some time for other things.
We're gonna
So
bother you whenever we can, Maria.
Let's hear
I'll
from
have-
Richard. Let's hear from Richard, and then, we can.
See,
Okay.
I've got some of the bad news for Maria here, which is that Accessoride is actually worse than what you've described at this point. They're not delivering consistently for the people who are enrolled in the program. We have seniors here at the center who make their calls, and they're still here an hour past when they expected to be picked up. The messaging is inconsistent on how it's being handled. The only thing I'm aware of that's dealing with that, and again, Maria, I know you don't want another meeting, but let me at least describe what is happening out there. There is something called the Accessoride Reform Group. We've heard from them at the center here once. They're going to be back on June 21st to talk about, and it's some pretty driven people that are doing the organizing. they're going to be back. But more than that, I guess, is to Mary. Maybe that's a September or October program for the community board to have the accessoride reform group present. You know,
Yeah.
and that could well lead to some resolutions in connection with the full community board coming out of that. One last thought I have.
Okay.
When we were listening to Michelle Castaneda speak before, what really struck me was her comment, my grandparents could have really used that service. I sort of think we got to get that into whether we do a mission statement or not. That's a pretty good measure
Mhm.
of what we all need to do, and maybe we can take it on a little bit more at the community board.
Yeah. Agreed. So on that note, Maria, I just want to say, I love you. It's been my pleasure to work with you and get to know you in a closer relationship. We've become friends in more ways than one, and through trials and tribulations and births and deaths and community issues. I hope that, we can remain as close as we are now, and that you can rely on me. You know that for the various and sundry things that you do in the community. I will help as much as I can.
Thank
And
you.
I'll miss you on the committee, though. Oh my God. Really
I'll
been.
I'll be around, Mary. Don't hurry. I think
know.
my sister is saying from the other room, stop it. But anyway, because see, when I retired from my regular job, I thought I was going to take it easy, but then I joined. I got involved in so many other things, and I got bombarded. Just to let you know, I serve on 17 committees. So just think about how many meetings I have to attend each month, every other month, things like that. So it's getting a little, heavy on my back. But I think that, the issues that, I care about, and then I just cannot say no. My sister said yes, for you, but not for other things. But it is hard. But I, as I said, I love all of you. I love everybody that I have met along the way. And so I hope that my asthma problem, gets a little better, because that is also something that is giving me a little problem. So thank you so much, all of you. See you soon. Happy summer. And remember that, I do care. I do care for, everybody.
Thank you very much.
I know you do. Does anyone else have anything that they'd like to say or share or?
One thing, everyone says such lovely things, but it's really true. This is a great committee. A+, right?
All right.
Best one I know of.
Let's give each other a big applause.
Thank you. It's going to get to our heads
So
soon.
anyway,
Is there a motion?
I
Is there-
did reapply, and I have been chosen to stay on, so I'm with you for another 2 years at least.
Thank
so
you, Mary.
we'll see.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you,
Is-
Mary.
Is there a
Bravo.
motion to adjourn?
Bravo.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'll second it then, or James is usually the one to chime in quickly. Okay, till next time.
Thank you.
Have a great summer,
Bye-bye.
everybody, and I hope
See you at the
I hope to
conference.
see many of you at the
Thank you
Waikoa
soon.
conference. I
All
will
right.
be on it
June
on Zoom.
15.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.